Good afternoon. I want to jump on real quick. I just had a conversation with two different people about the difference between private investigators, process servers, constables, and sheriffs. When it comes to service or process, you can use whoever you want. The sheriff and the constable may be cheaper than a process server or a private investigator. I will admit to that, but understand what you get. When you're dealing with a constable or a process server that only works for the courts, their turnaround time and what their ability to do is completely different. As a private investigator, if I'm out on the field and it's a bad address, I might call Eric, and say, Eric, run me this real quick and tell me, where this address is, because I have the ability to do that, because as a private investigator, I can skip trace. As a private investigator, I can go to the post office and ask for a forwarding address when I have a service and process in hand. Sheriff's departments generally have a longer turnaround time. A lot of times when you need something right away, you're not going to get it done with the sheriff's department, even if you offer to pay them $1 gazillion. When you're dealing with different things where you're trying to serve liens and judgments as a private investigator, I can use, again, Eric, who's watching me, and have him help me find, bank accounts and help levy those liens and things once the paper's been served. So that's where we're a little different than the sheriffs and the constables. In Pennsylvania, the constables are not allowed to serve process. I have a rule, but I can send it to somebody. I forget what it is, but they're not allowed to serve certain process at all. They're just not, but they still do it anyway. Forgive me, I'm looking real quick. I wasn't thinking about asking that, putting that in my note. The constables are not allowed to serve common pleas matters. They're not allowed, but they still do it. So, keep that in mind. I have a book of all the rules that we have to follow in the states that I'm licensed in. Eric's just made me laugh. The other thing and I've spoken about this to different bar associations, paralegal associations. The other things about the sheriffs, they work, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever it is. They don't work nights. They don't work weekends. A lot of courts will require an attempt be done at night, before 8 a.m. and on the weekends. The sheriff's only going to get you that middle of the day thing 9 times out of 10, because it's overtime if they work nights and weekends, and it's just not going to happen. And a lot of times the sheriff's departments, again, where I am, primarily their focus is serving warrants, protecting the judges, and the courtrooms. So the service of process is last. So that's why their turnaround time is 2 or 3 weeks, when a good process server, can get it done for you, get 3 attempts in a week or less. My firm, our standard service first attempt is in 2 to 3 business days. Russia's same day, 24 hours, depending on when it comes out. So keep that in mind. Constables, again, are not supposed to do service or process as a private person in their constable uniform. I have seen at least a dozen cases thrown out in Pennsylvania where a constable serves for the court that they work for. Then they could do private process, and the matter gets thrown out because the constable did an illegal service. In Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, the rule is you have to be over the age of 18, no criminal record, and that's it. So, anybody can do their service or process. I get that. Keep in mind, too, constables are only covered under the insurance for their constable insurance when they're actually working as a constable. The sheriff, I'm not sure how that goes. As a private investigator, I have, I'm not going to say how much, but I have a lot of insurance. Process servers do not have to have insurance in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or Delaware, where I am. In Florida, New York, some other states like that, it's required that they have a certain amount of insurance. So if, we lie and say we did a service, it's there. I use a program called Serve Manager where, I go out and when we do the attempt, it goes in by GPS. So, it proves myself there. But, again, I have a presentation. I'd be happy to share it if you'd like to see it, about the difference between process servers, private investigators, and such. I'd be happy to email you a copy. Have a great rest of your day.